Look, ski match the game like the corners in New York done taught us. Overcharging for how they did they like soul in the cold crush. Hoodies and bombers, my attire plate. My starting lineup look like Golden State. And this year we coming after hours like we open late.
No matter what, we're gonna keep fighting. That's what we do.
We're gonna keep fighting every single night.
That's what we do.
Sums up our team, sums up our city.
Yeah.
We dig.
We fight.
We find a way.
Look.
What's good? What's good? What it do? What it do? What the business is? JJ Jackson is in the building. We see you, homie. Shout out to everybody, everyone. You already know the vibery. It's Knicks ish off-season talk. Where should we start? I don't even know where to start. I guess we could start with the summer league. What the Knicks finished. Tough love was good. The Knicks finished 3-2, losing their first 2 games, then winning 3 in a row. We was talking before, like in one of the previous shows, like, none of us was like putting too much stock into, the summer league in itself. Darlene is in the building. We see you. But there were things that we were looking for. I wanted to see the French kid play. I have trouble with these European names, guys. So if I just bear with me, you feel me? So I don't be wanting Daddy, that's his name.
Yeah, Pacam, Daddy.
Yeah, Daddy. We want to see him play. We was talking about we want to see the Tyler kid play, Kolek, Michael Brown in the building. We see you. And just real quick, I'm not going to do a deep dive pause into both of those guys yet, but just real quick, wasn't overly impressed by Daddy. There's some things there, like there's something, a foundation to work with. I could see why they originally thought he was going to be a stash, because this excuse me, got a burp and it's stuck. I could see why he was originally going to be stashed. There's a foundation to be worked with there. You can see that he has the will to play defense. He's not all the way there yet. His shot needs work. Sometimes his decision making, is kind of questionable. But there's a foundation there to be excited about in the future. But that Tyler, I like that kid. I like that kid, and not to get overly excited about summer league, but at the same time to see his court vision and the way it is. But they said he's the first player ever in summer league to average 32 plus assists with under 8 turnovers.
Yeah,
it was impressive like that. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, imagine if he's passing the ball to people who can actually score. Yeah, Tyler's exciting. But yeah, man. Other than that, there's some other guys that I was looking at, but I'm gonna pass it over to Mrs. Knicks before I get too long-winded. How you feel about the summer league this year?
It was cool. I like the way we ended it, because like you said, we lost the first 2, but they figured it out. And that goes back to our whole team. We always figure it out. The same thing like with Pacom. I also see like he has foundation to be a good player in the league. But I can see why he doesn't want to be a stash, right? Because you stash him, he's not really going to build on his skills, but you leave him here, put him in the G League, and let our guys build on what he has already. So to me, it is a smart decision for him to stay close to the team. He may not be on our roster, but as long as he's on our G League, he got our guys kind of working with him. So to me, that's a good thing. And Tyler, like you said, he was very impressive. Like, I do want to see what he can bring to the team, because from what we saw, his court vision is absolutely insane.
Wow.
Like, some of those passes, you like, how? How did that happen? How did you get it to that guy? How did that guy know to be right there?
Yeah. It was impressive passes.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And just his decision making altogether. And when you seen him on the post game, like the way he talked to the media, it was like he was on our team last year.
Yeah.
Like the way he talks to them is like, okay, he gets it. I understand why we got him. He fits the culture 100%.
Yeah.
Like we just want to win whatever it takes. I'm just playing at my pace. Like those were some of the things he was saying that it's like, okay, I hear JB saying that same thing. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was cool. And I mean, the aerial guy, he was pretty impressive as well, but
Ariel.
I don't know, he still got some work to do.
Which one is Ariel?
The center.
The black kid.
Yeah. I mean, he had that crazy ass poster. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. He he showed some post moves that I was impressed with. But yeah, definitely needs some work. Definitely need, especially on the defensive end. I think that's where the most work he needs. I think you need to be more forceful on the boards, especially if you're gonna play on this team. You need to crash the balls a whole lot harder. But yeah, he had some post moves that I was like, okay, again, something to work with. Like something that we could compound upon. You mean like expound upon in his game, and he was impressive. Like he was impressive because I wasn't expecting much of him. First of all, you know what I mean, I saw his highlights, but highlights are highlights. You know what I mean? But I wasn't really expecting much from him. But I did see some flashes of some good basketball with him. But he definitely need to work on his defense and crashing the ball. Darlene, that's a fact. Dwayne Washington was getting on my nerve. You know what I mean? He was the epitome of ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Pass the rock. Ain't nobody come to see you.
He's number 15 always on the bench.
Well, like ain't nobody come to see you pass the rock. I mean, he did play and he played well. I mean, as you should. I mean, he's been in the G League for like 3-4 years now. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you should be putting on a performance somewhat to this nature because you've been around for a minute now. But ain't nobody come to see you. We wanted to see the Tyler kid. We wanted to see a Dottie. Yeah, I mean, and that other center we got. I don't know his name. The white kid. I don't know his name. He got a European name.
Yeah,
the tall white kid.
Demetro something.
Yeah. I ain't even listen. Pardon the sirens in the background, but yeah, I struggle with these names, but him, I was kind of impressed by him. His rebounding, his defense, and he hit a 3-point or 2, and I was like, oh, that is something. He's not ready yet. You know what I mean? He's not ready yet, but we gotta keep this guy around. You know what I mean? We got to put him in the G League and let him, get some playing time and acclimated to, what we do as a team, because that might be something in the future. What's the kid name? The one that we had stashed before.
Rokas something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bum. He's a bum. Get him out of here. He's a bum. He's a bum. And I just read that the team overseas is about to terminate his contract. He's a bum. Get him out of here. Yeah. He's not good. I remember it was some hype about this kid amongst the Knicks fan base. After watching him play in the summer league, he's not it. Get that guy out of here. He's not it. You know what I mean? And he's another one who's been around long enough to have played better than what he showed in the summer league. Because again, you're a professional over there. Like you're not like playing on like a college team over there. You playing professional basketball over there, and you came here and you didn't look like a novice. You feel me? You look like the one and done kids that just came and got signed. That's probably not gonna make a team. He's not gonna make a team, obviously, because he's not good. But I was disappointed. I ain't gonna lie, because I saw him on the roster. I was like, okay, he's another person I wanted to see what he could do. I mean, I didn't have no hope that he was going to make the roster, but I was intrigued because he's been a part of the organization for so long, or he's been stashed for so long. I wanted to see what he could do, and underwhelmed. He was
For sure. I mean,
underwhelming.
the one guy I also wanted to see, he didn't end up playing because I think he got injured for summer league. But that Kevin McCullough guy, just because his stats looked pretty good in college, so I wanted to see him play. But I think he had surgery or he got injured. Something happened to him. But here we go again, another guard, and we're guard heavy.
Yeah. That's a fact. We are definitely guard heavy. So, you know, now with the emergence of the play of Tyler in the summer league, then we look to like, what does the rotation look like, right? Because there was reports that the Knicks see Deuce as more of an off-ball guard than the a pure point. So does that? But the two is also Dante's spot, right? Like, so like, does this, like, how does that work with Josh playing the 4? You could put Dante as a small 3. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it. But if you're going with a small ball lineup, off the bench, that could work. You know what I mean? You got Josh at the 4, and whoever.
It's crazy because I was talking to Frank about this last night, and I just don't like it. I don't like it altogether because small ball is not going to work against all teams, for one.
Yeah.
Having him play against a true 4 is not going to be good on either end for the most part because it's going to be hard for him to defend and it's going to be easy for him to get blocked because they're so much bigger than him. Like,
but at the same time,
with those guys is really small.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to think about it. He's going to be playing a lot of 4 with the bench unit. It's not like he's playing the 4 against the really good guys. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like he's not going to be playing against the really good guys. He's going to be playing a lot of backup 4s. And I think Josh can hold his own against backup 4s. I don't like him. Kev, you already know the vibes. We here, homie. You know what I mean? Pull up. We here, Kev. You already know. Yeah, I think Josh can hold his own against some backup 4s. I'm not in love with it. Don't get it twisted. I want Josh to play at the highest the 3. You know what I mean? That's what, like, but yeah, I'm not in love with it. But I'm also not mad if we at times, like, while guys are resting, you get Julius at the 5 in the small ball lineup, Josh at the 4, Dante maybe at the 3, Deuce at the 2, and I don't know if Tyler's going to get PT right off the back. This tips we talking about. It just don't work.
Another thing we were talking about, because the reason the conversation came up in my house was because he asked about Precious, which we'll get into later. Yeah. But I said, well, Precious was initially brought in to play the 4 behind Julius, right? But because of injuries last season, he ended up playing the backup 5, right? So then Frank said, well, we can put Josh at the 4. And I'm like, but then it also goes to how many guys is Tibbs going to play?
Yeah,
and how does he play them, right? Because whenever we had Julius still playing, Mitch was already out, but we had Julius playing in January, and he was bringing Julius out of the game earlier in the first quarter, right? Bringing in the 6th man, and then when the full second unit was in, he was taking Julius and having him play the 4 with them. Yeah. So if he does that, then it's like, okay, then Josh doesn't really play the 4. He'll play the 3. We'll have a backup center, hopefully, before the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And then we could play it that way. But if he's going to play 10 guys, then it's going to end up being kind of like a small ball game, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You just going to have to shoot them out the gym.
Yeah. Shout out to Just Knicks. It's in the building. But yeah, you know, I think Tibbs has no choice but to like open up his rotations. It's too much talent. You know what I mean? It's too much talent for him to, stick with an 8-man rotation. His sweet spot usually is the 9-man rotation, I think. Especially, we're gonna get into the pressure situation later. If we do bring in a bona fide backup 4 or 5, gotta open it up to a 10-man rotation. And if that happens, I feel like we're gonna be more of a platoon swap type team. You know what I mean? Like piece by piece, start to switch the platoon until the whole bench is in, then the whole starters come back in piece by piece. With Julius or Brunson playing with parts of the second unit in different instances to have like a primary scorer still on the court. Because even though we got, all this talent, most of these guys really don't go out and get their own bucket. That's why like somebody like a Tyler is so crucial, especially to the second unit. Somebody that can be able to create offense for everybody else.
Especially to Mitch, because he gonna throw them lobs up.
Mitch in the second unit. Right now we're looking at Jericho Sims being the backup 5. You know what I mean? So that's another lob threat. But the second unit, when you look at it, there's nobody on the second unit that really goes out and get a bucket. That unit is going to have to play with a lot of off-ball movement, cutting to the basket and screens, and having a point guard with the type of vision of a Tyler Kolek is huge for that. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he gets minutes right away, but looking at how the second unit is shaped right now, it's hard for me not to see him getting some kind of PT with the way he passed the ball. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely if we get a backup 4 or 5, if we get a backup 4 or 5, I guess this is a good segue into the Precious conversation, right? If Precious come back, I would like to see him play the backup 4 instead of the 5. You know what I mean? Like, and you get Jericho Sims that backup 5 minutes. I think I'm a little bit more higher on Jericho Sims than most people. Kev is as well. You two, I think we are all on the show a little bit more higher on Jericho Sims than most people. So yeah, I'm not terribly upset if we just go on the season and go, yo, this is our backup 5. Barry was good. Yeah, I'm not terribly upset if we go on next season, go Jericho Sims our backup 5. If we re-sign Precious, which there's no news on that, oddly enough. Jimmy J1 is in the building. I see you, Brody. Yeah, make sure y'all pressing that like button. 2 facts. Yeah, if that does happen, we resign Precious Achiua. I would like him to see him play the 4. I think that works well for him. I think he will be more effective at the 4 than the 5. He's not really what you would consider a stretch 4, somebody that can, possibly keep teams a little bit honest if he steps out to the 3-point range, because I'm not saying he's going to hit threes at a high clip, but he has the ability to knock down the 3-point shot from the corners. But yeah, moving on to his contract situation, I don't know what's going on.
They've been really quiet. It looks like they're going to wait and see what happens, but I mean, no one has taken him. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just weird to me. I mean, I think he played very well for us when he did get playing time. And I would like to see him come back. I mean, I think he deserves to come back, in my opinion. Now, whether what he's asking for says he deserves to come back or not, that's something else, right? That's the business part of it.
Yeah.
We don't know what he's asking for. But as far as like the effort he put into last season, I think that effort deserves a chance for the right amount of money.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think seeing him at the 4 will be good. I think he can benefit from learning from Randall. He didn't really get the opportunity last season because of Randall's injury. And having him and Sims in together, or whomever is going to be our backup center, gives us at least 2 good rebounders. You already know our guards are great rebounders for their position. So, like that, and he plays defense. You know what I mean? And he
Absolutely.
knows the system already. So I don't see another better fit for our second unit than him. I guess it's the money thing that's holding it up. I have no idea what else would be holding it up.
Yeah, I agree. I think it might be a price situation. I think they might be real far apart on what the money is. You know what I mean? I don't know how far apart, but I think that might be a thing. And being the fact that he ain't been picked up yet, I think that works in our favor as an organization. It's like,
Sure.
all right, bro, like obviously ain't nobody offered you that kind of chicken. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
what you may be looking for. Yeah, I mean, but you can come back and play on a winning team and prove yourself, and then probably in the near future, go get your bag.
Right.
I think it's in his best interest to come back to the Knicks for whatever they're offering. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to front like I got some kind of insight on what the contract talks are or what the number or year amount is. I don't, but I'm just saying from my personal, a lot of what biased opinion of the matter, I just think it fits him best to come back. And, you're playing on a team that's contending. If the Knicks happen to win a championship and you're a contributing part of that, when your contract is up, you pretty much write your own check. You're a freaking champion now. You're a backup center or forward champion. Now, of course, teams are going to look for you, and then you have the bargaining chip of, I have a ring, or I help this team get to the finals, or I help the team get to the Eastern Cup, whatever wherever we land. Because I think Eastern Conference Finals is the floor for us. You know what I mean? Champions is the ceiling. Eastern Conference Finals is the floor, in my opinion. But wherever we land, you have that as a bargaining chip. Whether you sign a 2-year, 3-year deal, you have that. Hey, I helped this team go this far. You know what I mean? Like, and I was a contributing part. And then you could go get the bag you're looking for. But you might end up playing hardball and end up, not having to settle for a vet minimum somewhere else. You feel me? Like, you just never know. My guy Kev on the pull up. Yo, what's good, Brody?
What's going on, y'all?
Chilling,
Sorry for pulling up late, man.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Life be life, and we know. But yeah, we were just talking about, the pressure situation and the lack of information that's out there, and the radio silence in the organization, and pressures Achiua on where they might stand. But yeah, I was just saying that it might be in Precious' best interest to just take whatever the Knicks is giving. And that pause, that was crazy. Hey, yo. Yeah.
Darlene, what up, Darlene? How you doing?
Yeah, but whatever contract they're offering, I think is just might be in his best interest to take that. And if he's on a contributing member to us, Uncle Paulie, what's the vibery? What's good?
What up, Uncle Paulie?
Yeah, Kofi, what's good, my boy? Yeah, my fault. I ain't see you. I see you, man. You think they trying to for who though? That's just the question. I don't know, but like for who? Yeah, I mean, because I don't see Precious being that much of a bargaining chip. I like him for our team, but I don't think I don't think that he's that much of a bargaining chip that we can yield a high return from him. You know what I mean? Unless we're gonna trade like whatever available picks that's left that we have, like the first rounders that we have left that's available for trade, which I think is 2. I could be wrong. Kessler, I don't know. I think it's going to cost us more than Precious and our last 2 first rounders to get. Well, this is not our last 2. Our last 2 tradable first rounders to get Kessler. I would love it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. That would be amazing.
I think we got 5 first round picks left.
No, I think, but we only got 2 tradable ones. Like because of whatever, I forgot the name of the rule, but there's a rule that you can only trade so many first rounders back to back. Yeah, I mean, so I think we only got like 2 more that's tradable. But yeah. I would love like if Leon pulls that kind of deal off, that would be absolutely freaking amazing. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm pessimistic that is going to actually be a result for us, but that would be absolutely amazing. Uncle Paul will be talking about Precious and him not resigning yet, or the organization not offering him a contract yet. I don't know what's going on. I can't tell you which way the wind is blowing on this situation. Pause. That's crazy. I don't know which way this is going. I don't have information, but it is something that is obviously piquing the interest of the Knicks-ish staff. That there's no news.
So I was looking at the numbers, and so Precious right now is not on our books, right? So right now, Walker Kessler is scheduled to make 4.8 this upcoming season. Sorry, 2.9 this upcoming season, 4.8 next season, and $7 million the following season. So we would need a lot more than just Precious to do a sign and trade.
Yeah.
And actually a lot more than Precious and the first round picks. When you look at it, you gotta match money.
And from what I'm hearing, like we dealing with Utah, and you know how Utah is. They want 4 players, 6 picks. No cap though. Like if you look at what they was asking from the Warriors, they wanted like 3 players. I forget how many picks, and the Warriors was like, nah, we good. It
was Wiggins.
John, nah. What's the other Kuminga? They wanted Kuminga. What's that other kid's name, bro? Who they got another young talent that they got. They wanted him. They wanted some picks, and I forget, it was 3 players and some picks.
Yeah.
I mean,
believe
just think
it.
about what they wanted for Donovan Mitchell from us before.
Yeah.
Like that's how they play dirty like that. So
yeah, they play. They they go out there and they trying to hit a grand slam.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we could work something out with Precious. Again, like I said, I think he fits well with what we do. He plays with that intensity and grit when he's getting the PT. Because you also got to remember when he was getting when he was getting the consistent PT, he was playing at a really high level. And another guy that can put pressure on the offensive glass and defensive glass. He's a pick and roll threat. Rolling to the rim. He may not be a lob threat, but he could finish around the rim a little something. And again, he's somebody that you just can't not pay attention to on the 3-point line. You just can't be like, the bigs is going to have to kind of stay kind of close to him, because again, he may not be a great 3-point shooter, but he can knock down that shot. I wouldn't call him a stretch 4 by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, he's shown the ability to knock down that shot. I think he just fit great with what we do. I hope we find out a way to get him, keep him. But I think he might be just, me personally, I don't know. I just think that he might be asking for a little bit too much. He see everybody else getting the bag. He's like, I want some too.
Who's that, Hartenstein? Not Hartenstein. Precious.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about what he did, I mean, I could see why, but at the same time, I just don't think the Knicks right now. I think they don't have like maybe enough to give out. You know what I mean? To go maybe give him exactly what he wants. You know what I mean? I know it can't be more than $10 to $12 million what he because I doubt the Knicks will give him that.
Yeah, first of all, I don't think he's gonna get over 10
Yeah, I
million.
don't think he's
Nobody's giving him over 10 million. Yeah, like that's just Purple
Yeah,
Knicks
I
was
doubt
good.
that.
We see you in the building, Purple Knicks. You know what I mean? I don't think nobody's gonna give him over 10 million. Me personally, I think he probably tops out around like 8 for real, 8 a year. And I think we have enough salary cap to give him that contract. But I think maybe in his mind, he think he's going to get like 10, 15, like in between there. And the Knicks is like, nah, gang.
All right, bro.
Nah,
Sorry, bro.
Yeah. But yeah. Hope Precious is back, man. But we're gonna move on to the next topic. Mikal Bridges and Carmelo Anthony stopped by the podcast podcast. I hate that name for a podcast. It's just I don't know. It's just me. I got a lot of opinions about that podcast, but that's not where we're going. All right, but yeah, Mikal and Melo stopped by the podcast podcast. It was a lot of in my opinion, it was a lot of the same questions that he was asked on where he was at. On every interview, like when he did his
roommates
interview,
and all that.
And it's pretty much the same answers. I was more interested in what Melo was talking about, honestly, than Mikal. But Mikal's always stated that he loved playing it. And the way he said it just so hilarious. MSG. He always says that G so hard. MSG. I love playing that MSG. You know what I mean? They was asking about Josh and him, like his friendship with the other guys. And he gives very, like, his mom's prepared him to answer these questions his whole life, because he gives, like, I'm not going to ruffle no feathers. I'm going to give a very professional answer, and I'm going to keep it short. You know what I mean? and that's what he did. Overall, it was okay interview. That's just my opinion. We dive deep in some topics, but I want to hear what the panel felt about the podcast P interview.
I think it was pretty funny. Like, he did answer like the same questions the same way, especially like when they asked him, like, did you know you were going to be a Knick? Like, did they pressure you? But I think on the podcast P, the cameraman had the angle on him where his body language told the other story, because the way he like put his hand in his face, like, y'all know I can't really say this. You know what I mean? And then the way Melo was just like, bro, you knew you were just stopping to get your bags in Brooklyn. Yo, that shit had me dying. He said, you knew you was coming across the river.
Facts.
But just seeing like his body response and just hearing their stories about Josh and how he was a bully and how what he did to them in college, like, it's just hilarious to me how, like, so Josh just body slams the dude because he gets physical with him. And it's not like
when you see Josh, like,
Mikal's skinny.
Yeah. But when you see Josh, the way he acts and how he is on the court, the intensity he plays with, you be like, I can see that.
No, for sure.
I can see that happening.
I think
getting to see them like outside of basketball and like seeing like their personalities and stuff is always cool, and I love it. And like for so many years, we didn't have Knicks players that other people wanted to talk to, or you didn't see them like on podcasts or on TV and commercials the way you see our guys. So it's always good. And Melo talking his shit about the big three and with LeBron and them, that was very insightful to me. Like, I never thought about it like that. Like, so y'all want Melo in his prime to play number 4?
Yeah,
like,
fact.
Melo, like, I ain't with that shit.
Nah. And I ain't even money on the table.
Right.
Yeah. That was funny too.
I'm taking my money.
That was funny too, because they was talking about Jalen Brunson taking the money, and Melo was talking all this fly shit about he's doing it because this reason, all of that, and then they say something like, "Oh, but I ain't doing it
I
though.
wouldn't do it.
I don't want to do it though."
But the one thing I did like about what he was saying was about when he was talking about Leon and the type of team that he put together. You know what I mean? Like I think he wished he could go back into time and have somebody like that at that time, because from what he's seeing now, you know, he bigs up our front office. Like you can see, you can tell that people are starting to take a glance at the Knicks and see that the Knicks are about their business, and that's something good to see. That's something good to see.
Yeah, make sure y'all hitting that like button, man. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. But it was one thing I did notice about the interview, was when they asked Mikal about like his leadership in Brooklyn and all that stuff, and Mikal's taking a lot of flack, especially from Brooklyn, salty ass Brooklyn Net fans.
That's not fair, man.
Yeah, on last season's letdown and all the things like that, and to have insight of what he like mentally, what he was going through in that situation, and like focusing on him, just realizing I need to be better. We need to, like, I can't really tell these guys what they need to do if I'm not playing to the best. Him feeling that way, I can't really tell these guys, the younger guys, what to do if I'm not really playing the best of my abilities, and acknowledging that. And you could tell that like that's something that kind of like really weighed on him. You know what I mean? And the advice that Melo gave him was fire to see, right? Like letting him know, like, yo, don't do that to yourself. Like, don't hang your head on, oh, I should have done this. I needed to do this, or I should have been that. He's like, yo, you got to realize you did the best you can with the tools you had. And that's a fact, because that team was not built properly. You know what I mean? That was a poorly built roster. You know what I mean? So
the coaching didn't play them well.
You feel me?
It's kind of something.
Poor coaching, a poorly constructed roster. So again, like Melo was saying, like you did the best you could do with what you had, and that's something I think he needed to hear. You know what I mean? And hopefully he could get that that cloud from over his head, or that stain off his jacket, or pause back, for lack of a better word, pause that bad taste out his mouth from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? And that's what real OGs do, man. And shout out to Melo for that advice, because he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Especially in that moment, because it's not his podcast. My fault, Kev. I cut you off.
No, you good. It's funny because that's something similar to what Melo went through in his time. You know what I mean? Not having all the right pieces, and Knick fans, and he said it himself. And Nick, I don't play no defense. I don't do this. I don't pass the ball. Like Melo used to get the same kind of treatment. You could say the same thing for Julius Randle when he first got here. When Julius, even now till this day, Julius Randle still gets the bulk of the blame of everything that happens wrong. But when something good happens, you don't hear people. So but I think that this time around, with this team in place, I don't think that's something that Mikal really got to worry about this year. I think a lot of like the pieces that we have in place actually take a lot of pressure off from Mikal and everybody else for that matter, because we're pretty well balanced. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man.
Yeah, I think his time at Brooklyn prepared him for this moment, man. I think him having to try to learn how to run a team, we might see a lot of him in the second unit being a primary option, because he has the experience of being the number one guy in Brooklyn, and having that kind of scrutiny be thrown at him, and him having to live through that. They don't call the New York Knicks organization the heaviest jersey to wear in the league for nothing. You know what I mean? And I think that that experience with him having to go through that scrutiny is going to benefit him mightily. You know what I mean? Something else I also, got insight on, because they did more talking to Carmelo Anthony than they did Mikal Bridges, was his perspective. Two things I didn't know. The 50-point game that he had in Miami, I didn't realize that was all jumpers. I did not realize that. That is crazy. That is crazy.
I remember that.
When you think about it, and when they said it, I'm sitting and I'm thinking, I'm like, word. He did give Shea Battier 50 all jumpers. That's crazy. And I didn't realize it was more of out of animosity, not animosity, him just being annoyed that LeBron, Wade, and Bosh didn't play. And he's like, okay, I'm going to show y'all something. You should have played, because now your man's got to get it. 50 all jumpers is crazy. And then he started to talk about the 62 as being like almost like a FU to the fans, because the fans was on his back. Pause. About the team not playing well and in the high scrutiny. You know how New York do. He said the brown paper bags was out and all that. Yeah. So and now to have an insight and being like, see, it's not just like you also start to think about, it's not just Julius Randle that ever felt like that about the Knicks fans. You know what I mean? We all love Melo. He gets a standing ovation every time he goes in to Madison Square Garden and they put Carmelo Anthony, everybody. And he even said that 62 was a FU to you guys because y'all was talking too much shit.
Word, I defended Carmelo Anthony the same way I defended Julius Randle, bro.
Yes.
It was like, bro, what are y'all watching, bro? Like, I don't understand it, bro. The man got nothing to work with. And then the 1 year y'all gave him some kind of talent. Those guys were like a year away from literally retiring.
Everybody retired the next year. Everybody. Yo, and even in that picture that they showed on Podcast P, and about the 62-point game, you look and be like, he like the one there where he's walking towards the bench. You see Tim Hardaway Jr. You're like, who the fuck is these other guys? Who are these guys? And that's what Melo was playing with. Like he was playing with like guys that on any other team wouldn't get PT. They wouldn't get any PT. You talk about guys that would have been freaking the 14th and 15th, 13 through 15 on the bench for real, right? Like, and he got so much scrutiny while he was. This is a fact.
Patrick Ewing got death threats.
This is a point that me and Kev made in the middle of the whole Julius Randle gate, when everybody was mad at him for giving the thumbs down, and me and Kev leaned on this point. We leaned on this point. It's like, yo, Patrick Ewing said that the fans used to talk shit about him and boo him, and he was sick of it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's a part of being a New York Knicks player, unfortunately. You know what I mean? As passionate we are, we ain't all there. You feel me? We ain't, most of us ain't all there. You feel me? So
But it also goes to show you, like, we as fans need to like chill out a little bit. Like we are very harsh with the guys, and it's okay to be harsh when you expect better from them. But just to be straight out disrespectful for no damn reason, and just the way y'all go in on their families, and like we gotta chill as a fan base on that. That's too much. Death threats and all that, like. This is still their job. Although their job is to entertain us, Melo situation, like the team, he didn't get a team built the way our team now is built. It's not his fault. I mean, it kind of is his fault, but not fully his fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there could have been different circumstances on us getting him. We didn't have to, gut the team to get him. That's not here or there. But even with him there, the front office that we had at that time wasn't, and he even said it on the show, on the podcast, that he had it in his mind, I'm gonna end up in New York and we're gonna compete with Miami for the top spot in the East.
We're gonna build to compete with them, yeah.
Right, but nobody else's mentality was that but his. And so that you blame on the front office, right? They didn't build a team around him the way they built this team around Julius and Jalen.
Steve Mills, man.
Right. And so, I mean, it's not
not really. I would really blame James Dolan at that time, because if you think about it, if you remember correctly, he the one. But yeah, because Donnie Walsh said no. Right. Let's wait until the off season. Let's wait until the off season.
Yeah.
Right. And then they got the mixed they heard that Brooklyn was in the mix and trying to get him, and that's when James Dolan was like, make that trade right there.
Right.
I'll be trying to stay away. My guy James Dolan got a bad rap, man. So I'll be trying to stay away from throwing any more criticism on him. Because shout out to, I don't know if y'all spoke about this last show, but shout out to Kenyon Martin, man. You know what I mean, for shining a light on James Dolan for being a player's owner. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he gets enough credit for that. I think I've had this argument with somebody. I can't remember. I don't know if it was Big Fan Breezy or Uncle Sad. And they was talking shit about Dolan. I was like, yo, if you pay attention, James Dolan take care of the players, especially his former players. Because I think we was having an argument about the Charles Oakley thing. I was like, yo, I really think Charles Oakley might be in the wrong because look how he acted. You know what I mean? Even post after James Dolan trying to make amends and doing things to make amends with him, you could tell that. And then you look at the other guys, the other legends, how he opened arms. I think we the first team in the league that has a legends row.
All of them first row.
Yeah, a legends row. That was genius. That is genius. To have the legends, especially in a playoff time. Oh my God, that's genius.
He bought Stephon Marbury back. That
from China.
What was the last?
he brought him back from China to sit there and enjoy the playoffs, man.
But even guys we hadn't seen in forever, like we haven't seen Herb Williams in who knows how long. And
that's right.
Again, he had Herb Williams on the coaching staff for years. Mm-hmm. Herb Williams saw many of GM. He saw many of GMs and
coaches,
not coaches and presidents of basketball operations come and go, and he still had a job. And I know that was because of James Dolan. No assistant coach survives that many changes without guys being like, yeah, you got to go. Yeah, you got to. No, Herb Williams stayed there through that whole time. And that's fire. You know what I mean? And that's fire. And I think that's because of James Dolan and the way that he take care of his former players. And Kenyon Martin was talking about he is no expense spared for the current players. You know what I mean? Right. Even though these guys, a lot of those teams were ass, they still got first-rate treatment.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I like how he said, like we know he don't know basketball, but the people he had in place were the wrong people, only giving him half-ass information. And so now you see the difference with our front office now compared to then, right? Where there's no middle person. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone basically regurgitates the same exact thing from interview to interview. And now you see James Dolan popping out at Summer League with them, yet he's still silent to the media.
All the way out the way. It was something because I do think, even though he did a horrible job, I do think Phil Jackson is one of the greatest minds in basketball that we've seen, right? I just think the
as a
job,
coach.
yeah, I think the job that he took was not like everybody has a talent. You know what I mean? Like some things are just not in your skill set, and being president of basketball operation wasn't in his. But he, when they met at first, and James Dolan said after their conversation, he realized like I really don't know much about basketball. Yeah, I mean, and him being able to say that out loud shows being able to realize the like where his strong suits are and his personal growth that he had to go through as an owner, right? And ever since that moment when he said those words, he's been radio silent as far as the team goes. Like he stays out the way. He goes, what I need to pay for. You feel me? What you need to do your job so I could pay for it and I could go back to my band and play my music. Yeah, I mean, but yeah. I just want to point that out. But to back to the interview, that was enough. Like I think Mrs. Nix mentioned it about Kev. I can't remember who mentioned it about Melo saying the things he was saying about the front office. You could definitely tell he wish these guys was my GM, the presidents, because
We'd have had a ring already.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, because he would have probably been able to recruit a lot of players that those guys couldn't recruit. Make trades, make moves that those guys back then couldn't do. Shout out to Scott Perry too, because Scott Perry, he did some good things for us in the beginning of this whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like to expand on that Scott Perry. I want to expand upon that because I think he's the unsung hero of where we are right now. I think the groundwork that was laid the 2 years before Leon Rose got here, it was pivotal to us being able to do the things we do to get to this point. Our salary situation was an absolute freaking mess. And it was a mess with trash players. Tim Hardaway Jr. getting $18 million a year. And at that time, that was still a relatively large amount of money. It's not like $18 million ain't nothing now. But back then when Tim Hardaway got that, I did a Knicks-ish, and I remember having a whole fit when Tim Hardaway Jr.'s contract got released. And then we re-signed him. And I'm like, yo, because I think this first year was like 17.5. And we signed him for like 3 years for like 60 something, 70 something million or something like that, close to 80 million. And I was having a fit because that's a horrible contract. And we were saddled with that. And he continued to underperform. And a whole bunch of other bums that had, $10 million contracts that was on the roster. And Scott Perry rectified that and brought in a whole bunch of different talent. He brought in I think 2 people at every position and put them like on prove-it deals pretty much. The whole roster pretty much the after the first year that Scott Perry was here was on prove-it deals. Julius Randle included. He had 2 years guaranteed the third a team option. No, player option. I can't remember. Player or team. I can't remember which one Julius Randle was. Bobby Portis was on a 1-and-1. 1 year guaranteed other team option, and everybody else on the roster pretty much was on a 1-and-1 with the team option. I think that was pivotal for us to be able to have flexibility to do the things that we did and bring in players that we brought in along the way. Because if y'all remember that it was atrocious. It was atrocious. 17-win team with one of the highest payrolls in the NBA. It was atrocious. Yeah, I mean, and Scott Perry was the turning point for this organization to start building. Scott Perry is the foundation that Leon Rose started to build on. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Scott Perry. He still be talking very highly about the Knicks on these podcasts, and he don't even have to. And I appreciate.
I was about to say something about that because I love what he said on that last reel that he made himself. He made it. And the fact that he said, you know, a lot of New Yorkers, you know, all they want the big superstar name. And you know, I think that, you know, a lot of people are still stuck on that, not realizing what kind of team we have in place right now. You know, the team
Yeah,
that we have in place right now, man, we could do some big things. And all we need to do is pray for health, man. We get that. We stay healthy. Like I was telling Anna earlier, we stay healthy. You know, we could do some good things. We could do some great things. But
absolutely,
that's all that matters right now, bro. Shout out to Scott
absolutely.
Perry, man, because when he
And
got here,
I,
he
I
was
think,
handing out nothing more than 3-year deals. It was 3-year deals and less.
and even when he was still here, when Leon Rose
Mhm.
took over, you've seen the contract construction that was happening. Like when Leon Rose was still here, it was a lot more different kind of flexibility in contracts. I don't remember a time where we were front loading contracts. You feel me? Pause. I don't remember a time when we was doing that to offset. Yeah, I mean, and using the years of the contract as leverage for the salary cap. Like there's a nuance that I haven't seen on a contract level from anybody that is in the front office, except for Donnie Walsh was the only other person. Donnie Walsh was working wizardry. We was in another financial, we being financial handcuffed when Donnie Walsh took over, and he rectified that quick, fast, and in a hurry. Uh, and you still see, and I'm saying all that to say, you still see Scott Perry's fingerprints on the kind of contracts that we're signing these players to this day. Leon Rose definitely learned something for Scott Perry in his time being here, and you still see that in the contract situations that we signed today. I know y'all talked about this last week, but I wasn't here, right? And
What's
uh,
that?
the Jalen Brunson contract situation, and I just got my 2 cents. Big fan Breezy, we see you. You know what I mean? All right, now you can leave.
Bro.
You know what I mean? That's a fact. Tap that like button. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my guy, Big Fan Breezy, man. But yeah, the Jalen Brunson contract situation and the money that he left on the table. I'm here because I'm upset. Not at the contract. Is why is there so much backlash? This is the thing that I can't understand. Here's something you can't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. Does it? Why does this threaten some of these, ex players who's on these podcasts and on these major networks? Why are y'all so ruffled and because he makes y'all look selfish? I know what that is. He makes y'all look selfish. Excuse me. I got to sneeze. Don't want to come out. I got to burp. Don't want to come out. I'm all messed up right now. He makes y'all look selfish. You know what I mean? And why wouldn't you take a pay cut, especially if you got the team, got all your friends on the team, put you in a place to contend, right? You went from being a backup point guard to a leading role in a first-time All-Star with this team. You want to win a championship. You know how that goes. You need help. Nobody wins a championship by themselves. You need help. So you take the pay cut. Then you got the likes of Brandon Jennings sitting on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. Why is he such a hater? What's wrong with this guy?
He sound real mad,
Yo,
yo.
the way he talks about us is like, bro, you never played on us. Because you could have even, I said this to Frank, he could have agreed with Kenyon Martin. He was a Knick, and he stood there like an idiot, like he didn't know.
Mad.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And it is ridiculous, man. JB did what he felt best was for him in his situation. I mean, he felt was best for him is to take the contract now because at the same time, tomorrow's not promised. I mean, because I seen an ESPN guy. I don't know his name. This is the first time I've seen this guy, but he was another one like disheveled that JB took this money and why would you do that? You get every penny that you earned and all this. You don't leave no money on the table because tomorrow's not promised. But I'm going to use this same logic against him because he was like, you don't know if you're going to win a championship. You don't know what's going to happen. It's not no guarantee that you're going to beat Boston and all this because Boston is the champs. We use the same logic. Tomorrow's not promised. JB, God forbid. You hear me knocking on wood, right? God forbid could get hurt and won't get the bag. Like he could get, God forbid, could get hurt, knocking on wood again. And wouldn't get the contract he just got now. You know what I mean? So you tomorrow isn't promised. You gotta what is that? One bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That's the saying. You feel me? Like the money in hand is worth possibly more than the money that he could have got. Now, when he does stay healthy, right? But this is the part that nobody's talking about. All these haters and disheveled former players. Paul Pierce. I wish Paul Pierce shut up. Why is he on TV? I love what Kevin Garnett stay having to put him in his place when he's talking about players, especially the Knicks. Kevin Garnett stay having to put him in his place. But Paul Pierce is another one. Now, but they all not talking about this. What if he wins? What if he wins in New York? Marlon is in the building. Yes, sir. What if he wins in New York? And then his contract is up. This contract is up. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to give that man a $500,000 contract. $500,000. But nobody wants to talk about that part of it. They're demonizing the. My fault. I'm gonna land the plane right now. The crazy part is it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you would have took the money, they'd be like, he don't want to win. He's not leaving any money or no flexibility for the organization to surround him with help. You know what I mean? It's damned if you do, damned you don't. I'm gonna land the plane there.
No, I agree, and I mean we talked about it last show, but it's just so many things that take into consideration. Like you brought in Mikal, so you know those extensions are gonna have to. They're coming up too. Mikal, Julius, all those extensions. So he's looking out for the team, and you know this isn't we're gonna win next season mentality. This is it's a process. We know it's gonna take a couple of years to get where we got to go, and we need to secure everybody instead of just securing one person. Another thing, Melo said it on the podcast where he's like, he got somebody in his corner that knows the ins and outs of the next CBA and all that. So he took less now to maybe get paid more. That's one thing. The other thing is, we're not talking about a kid that came from the hood. We talking about a kid that grew up with money. So money ain't tickling his feather per se. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not like, I got to move my parents out the hood, or I got to look out for my family. Like his family is well off. His pops is the coach. I think mom's is a doctor or a lawyer, some major, she makes money. You know what I mean? He came from money. So he looks at money differently than us from the hood, where it's like, damn, that's a lot of money to be leaving on the table. Facts. Like he comes from money, so the way he's looking at it is differently than a Melo or LeBron was looking at it at his age. You know what I'm saying? They still were trying to get out the hood. Another thing is, look at the endorsements he's gotten since he's been in New York. What we counted? 1, 2, 3, 4. Dollar Shave Club, Hiko Tequila Soda, Nike, American Express, MSI Computers, DoorDash, Haverty Brand, Pedialyte, the Aura Ring, Delta, and Bose. Those are huge endorsements that he's getting money from. That's making up for the money he's leaving on that table. You know what I mean? And that don't even include the Dunkin' Donuts that we've seen already or the AT&T that we've seen already. So y'all don't know the ins and outs of, his livelihood. So let him be. He want to leave 130-something mil on the table to make sure that our franchise is in a good position to win. Bro, he should be getting nothing but praise from anybody.
Absolutely.
like you said, it makes people look bad. Like, dang, these dudes. I'm looking at people that are getting signed to other teams this season, and I'm like, he ain't worth that kind of money. He ain't worth
Yo,
that kind of money. What's that kid
word.
that the guy that just got signed extended in Cleveland, like 200 and
Evan
something mil?
Mobley,
I'm like,
Evan
Mobley.
Mobley.
I'm like, he ain't
bum.
worth that kind of money.
One of the Wagner brothers in Orlando just got a super contract too.
Super
That
crazy
was
contract.
crazy.
Yo,
Crazy.
Kev.
Yeah.
Yo, Kev, that's Tommy from the post office.
Nah, I don't think that's Tommy. Nah, that's not Tommy.
Oh, all right.
What up,
Yeah.
Thomas? What up, Thomas?
Yeah, what up, Thomas? Yeah, but yeah, you're 100% right. You know, Brandon Jennings, he gets on my nerves, man. And I'm you know, he said something else too that really like kind of pissed me off, right? Because when they was talking about when Gilbert Arenas, somebody who normally I don't agree with, but I was agreeing with him on when he was talking about the Knicks, and he was like, you know, the camaraderie, and they know what it takes to win because they won together, right? And Brandon Jennings was like, they ain't winning the NBA. They don't mean nothing. Nobody care about that college shit. What you mean they know how to win? Brandon Jennings, who are you to talk about winning anything? You never won nothing anywhere, nigga. You didn't win nothing in college. You didn't win nothing in the NBA. Why are you talking about people who are, you know, NBA players? And this is why a lot of these NBA players are doing these podcasts, because they could change the reporting on what they call it, new media. But yeah, a lot of y'all be reporting on players that are better than you. JB is better than you ever was. You feel me? You never been on an all-star team. You never been on an all-NBA team. You never been an NBA champion. So you sitting on that couch hating on a man who built a situation that he could have got his friends to play basketball with him, that he won in college, something you didn't do. You're not a national champion. You're not a national champion in college. You're not an NBA champion. Never been on an all-star team. You've been on an all-NBA rookie team, but that was the highlight of your NBA career. You never scored the points per game that JB got, but you want to sit here and talk about ain't nobody scared of that college shit. That ain't going to win no NBA championship. You don't know what it takes to win a championship. You never done it. You never done it. So shut your mouth and watch greatness. That's all I want. You shut your mouth, Brandon Jennings, and watch greatness. And Sean McCann is another one too. He be talking like you wasn't nice. You wasn't nice, bro. I think you scored over. I don't think you ever scored over 20 points a game in your whole entire career. Who gives these guys the right to say what takes to be a champion and what doesn't? Gilbert Arenas too. You ain't never won a championship. What gives you the right to say what takes it? Because if I was to get in a basketball conversation with them, the first thing you would say, you never played in the league, right? That's what they like to lean on. You never played in the league. That's facts. And you've never been a champion. So who are you to say what it takes to be great? You're not great. You were good. You had your time. You don't know what greatness is. You were never that.
Right.
Brandon Jennings never had to be the guy on the team. Like, carry the team, put the team on you. You was a bucket, but you were never the guy. So how you going to tell somebody how to conduct themselves as the guy? How you going to tell somebody what they should or should not be doing as far as financially if they want to win a championship when you never had to be the guy? Never. None of them on that podcast has ever had to be the guy. None of them. Not one. But they talk down. They talk down on JB. They talk down on what he's doing. They talk down on the Nova. Except for Gilbert Arenas. He's coming around. Gilbert Arenas is coming around. He's starting to see the light. But a lot of them, especially Brandon Jennings, you got to get that hate out your blood. You got to get that hate out your blood, bro. I don't know what it is.
They don't like new things, right? And this is the first of its kind where so many guys from the same college team teamed up. But realistically, when you think about it, it's the first time they've come together because they played together, but it's the same thing as like the big three, right? The way we never knew the insides of it until, like, we could only assume the insides of it. Let me say that. We only assumed that they all planned to make this happen. But when you listen to Melo and how he talked on Paul George podcast, there was really a lot of talk for it to happen, right? So what's the difference between four guys that played college basketball together, getting together, you know what I mean? And two of them not even on their own, because two of them we traded for. You know what I mean? It's not like they all talked and was like, all right, you're going to be a free agent this year. You come to New York. I'm going to meet you in New York. Like, it didn't happen that way. That big three that they did in Miami was way more orchestrated than what we have. But I think it's more magnified because it's in New York, because these are not big name guys that are making a huge impact in the biggest market in the league. And now everyone's like, nah, this can't work. There's no way they're going to make this work. You know what I mean? It's like, but if they would have did this shit in Toronto or Philly or wherever, it wouldn't be such a big deal.
Yeah, facts. I mean, yeah, you know, haters gonna hate, ain'ters gonna ain't. You know what I mean? and that's what a whole lot of that is. You feel me? And when it works, I want everybody to eat humble pie. Is all. You know what I mean? I want apologies directly. You feel me? Like, I don't want no flip flopping and switching sides when we in the playoffs and things is kicking up and you like, oh, them Knicks Nova boys. Nah, same energy, fam. Until we get an apology, same energy. Fred Katz. This is something that's not on the agenda today, guys. I saw it a little bit before we went live. You know, this has been a hot button topic all off season, especially after the Mikal trade. Julius Randle, obviously. Fred Katz report that he has absolutely zero indication, none, that the Knicks have any at all interest in trading Julius Randle. Zero. There is no indication whatsoever that the Knicks are interested, or looking, or shopping for. No trades for Julius Randle. So everybody, shut the fuck up, please.
Wow.
Please. Nobody wants Cat, bro. I don't want him here. Bro. Y'all want to trade a three-time All-Star for role players. It's absurd. Y'all want to trade Julius Randle for Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, Jaren Jackson Jr. ain't no bum. I'm not calling the guy a bum, but he's not fucking Julius Randle. He's not better than Julius Randle. So, again, I repeat, Fred Katz reported that there is zero indication that the Knicks want or interested in trading Julius Randle. Now, I mean, so can we please,
they're not
get off my fucking timeline with these whack ass trade scenarios for Julius Randle?
Yo,
they're not gonna stop.
It's just crazy that's still even a topic of discussion. You know, like, I don't know how many more times this man got to go on podcasts, on interviews, saying that he just wants to be here. The fact that the media and fans just keep on, it's just like, at this point, y'all just really trying to get clicks. It's obvious. There's no other, like, there's nothing else that y'all. Every single year, if it's not off season, is at the trade deadline.
And this completely contradicts, some reports from sources that a popular, Knicks page, a Knicks content creator was saying. Totally contradicts it.
Completely.
Who are we to believe? Who are we to believe? I ain't got no smoke with nobody. You know what I mean? And let's get that clear. I don't have no ill will or harbor ill feelings towards anybody. But when we said it was Knicks for clicks, we got called every name under the sun. Well, at least Kev did. Well, at least Kev got called every name under the sun.
Niggas did a whole 6-hour space with our name on it. And, niggas did a whole 6 to 8 hour fucking space.
Yeah, at least Kev got called every name under the sun. But I'm just saying, bro, listen, as content creators, to some extent, we all are here for the clicks. Nobody's above it. Especially if you're making money doing it. Like, you're not above the clickbait stuff. I like to feel like I am, though, because I don't really give that much. I just like to say what's on my mind. I don't pretend to have sources. Not saying that anybody is pretending to have sources, but I don't pretend to have sources. I don't pretend to have some inside track on what the Knicks is doing. I report as a fan, just like everybody else that's watching as a fan, and the fan just read from a guy who's been reporting on the Knicks for a very long time that says there's no indication that the Knicks have any interest in trading Julius Randle. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
And I mean, history in with this front office tells us we would never know when he is on the market. We would never know when anyone on our team is really on the market because our front office doesn't even tell us what's going on. They don't talk to anyone in the media. I'm sure everyone that works in that front office or in the Garden has a do not speak to the media clause in their contract because they have done things where even the media is like, oh shit.
Wait,
how did that
happen? I gotta say something because per Ian Begley, he got people in the organization that feeds him information and gave him that kind of intel that Julius Randle
hasn't been correct in years.
Hey, listen, I'm with you. I'm with you all the way. I'm just saying this was out of his mouth. And he said he did not want to give up the sources. And I'm sitting here like, but there ain't no sources, bro, because Leon Rose and those guys don't give up sources to anybody.
And if he had sources, right? Like let's just piggyback off that, Kev, right? If he had sources, this is the thing. I ain't got no smoke with Ian Begley neither. You know what I mean? Report, do your thing. You know what I mean? But
not for real, yeah.
It's not the cap.
Exactly. That's exactly.
You don't need to be capping in my face, dog. Pause. Right? That was crazy. But if you had sources inside the organization, why you throw those leaks out on the Mikal trade, homie? Why? That's big news. Why you have the Knicks is interested in trading for Mikal Bridges? Well, you got sources. You got sources, homie. What's up? That's big news. If you were the guy, right? If you were the sole reporter who had sources and put out the information that the Knicks are potentially about to get Mikal Bridges and the trade happen, you are that fucking guy. You're the guy now. Everybody's looking towards you because that's a huge move for us in this pivotal time. But there was no reports about that. Y'all ain't got no sources. Y'all sources is the hot dog vendor, the popcorn lady, the guy who pours my Hennessy when I'm in the Garden. That's who y'all sources must be. That's who it must be. Because y'all not right on nothing. Yeah, all the trades that Leon Rose and them has done, there been no words. Like Mrs. Lee just said, Josh Hart wasn't a peep. Everybody,
Cam Reddish, Derrick Rose.
Everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Like when Josh Hart got traded, I remember the whole internet was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Even Jalen Brunson said it. Oh shit!
Yeah, the fuck just happened?
Even he was shocked. Word. He threw his hands up in the air like he was so happy.
Right.
So why am I to believe any of these guys? Why do any of y'all? That's the part that boggles my mind. For as long as I can remember, like this is even before the internet. For as long as I can remember,
Yeah, it's true.
the Knicks,
It's true.
the Knicks have been linked to every disgruntled player, every
Yo,
big
that's a
name free
fact,
agent,
bro.
and nothing.
KD, Kyrie, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. I mean, yo,
Giannis,
Giannis,
So
Lillard.
Lillard,
and
Donovan Mitchell, Zion Williamson, like the list goes
everybody,
on and on of every
everybody.
single name and every single star. The media just, that they really get the fan base going, man.
Yeah,
You would think
and,
that after 20 plus years, the fan base would be like, you know what, man, I'm tired of
and,
listening to
and
y'all.
that's what I was saying, Kev. That's what I was getting at. You think after all these time that you know what you did, the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Y'all beyond shame at this point. Y'all
Yeah,
beyond
it's been
shame.
20 years of shame, bro. It's been 20 plus years of
Like,
shame.
how do you keep on falling for the same trick every year? It is beyond me. Every year is the same trick.
Word.
And the media gets it. You got to understand, these people know that the Knicks fan base is very, die hard. You know what I mean? Very passionate. So they know whether it's good or bad. If it is extreme kind of content, y'all gonna go crazy and eat it up. Pause. And y'all do it every
Word.
year.
Word.
Like,
Every single player, yo.
why you think everybody keep on throwing Cat name out there? Because they know it's such a polarizing thing. You have Knicks
If it's
fans who absolutely hate the idea, like us, who absolutely hate the idea of Cat being a Knick. Then you got the I hate to call them casuals, but the casuals that go, they love the idea, right? So no matter how you flip the coin, you're gonna get clicks because you're gonna have the guys who hate it, like, get this guy the fuck away from my team. And then you got the guys like, yeah, we need him bad. Like,
it
my
was
fault.
and the crazy thing, it wasn't just what you call it, a cat. It was Joel Embiid.
Yep.
It was Jeremy Grant. It was who was the marketing from Utah. Like, forget it, bro. Like, we're linked to almost every star in the NBA, bro.
And
Just
here's
Nick,
the thing: if it's not
yeah,
broken,
my fault.
don't fix it. Right? Like, our team is not a
Right.
broken team. It
It's
worked
not.
very well the month of January, and I want to see it. I want to see it develop to see, like, was January a fluke, which I don't think it was, or do we
Absolutely not.
continue to build from that? Like, it's not a broken wheel that we need like an immediate fix on, for one, and for two, think about it. New York, when guys decide to come to New York, they're taking on, like we say, the heaviest jersey in the league, the worst media outlet in the league, and then they have to and think about the money. Yeah, they're getting paid big money, but they also have the biggest taxes. New York got federal tax, state tax. They have I forget what it's called, the jock tax for
Yeah,
teams that play in states that have state tax. They pay an extra tax.
that's crazy.
They have to live in a city that taxes you for everything, because New
Absolutely.
York is not cheap to live
Word.
normally. You know what I mean? And
Word.
then they have to deal with these fucking fans that are unappreciative. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Facts.
this is why people choose not to come to New York. They already know all the other stuff. And then I'm going to have to hear in my ear every game from these fans that just want to jibble and jabble and all over social media. And I can't have my kids on social media. Gotta have my wife on the low because she can't go to games because she'll get threatened. Like, we gotta chill.
Yeah, facts. Yo,
And
just
just
next.
Nick, why do we hate Cat?
Yeah,
He just ain't better than Randall. Let's just be
yeah.
honest. He just
I
ain't
tell
better
you,
than Randall.
I got reasons. I got specific reasons. Got specific reasons, right? Uh, if you got, like, we all know Jimmy Butler is definitely, like, he's wild. You know what I mean? Like very opinionated. But when you on when your teammate calls you soft, this kind of crazy, right? And then
I mean, he's from Jersey.
now Cat is talented. Cat is talented. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to say Cat isn't a talented basketball player. But you when you one of the main guys, the number 2 guy on your team, and in the playoff game, your coach got to sit you down because you playing that ass. You're not hurt. There's no injury. You have a solid squad around you, so it's not like they're like putting all their energy into stopping you because Edwards is better than you. So most of the attention is going to Ant. You're just stinking up the joint. You're not hurt. Like, but in the fourth quarter, you're on the bench in a crucial playoff game. And I don't like anybody who has to change their voice for interviews. I don't like that. I don't like that. You talk like, yeah, like, huh? Oh, and then we're gonna talk about the contract,
right?
And I think at the end of his contract, you're making $60 million a year.
Yeah,
we got. Why the fuck would I trade a guy who's making 30 for a guy who's going to be making 60? That pretty much almost do the same thing. It's just Julius Randle's more thorough than he is. You know what I mean? More tough. He's a bully. He's a bully. He's not gritty.
He's not gonna let his teammate get yoked up and just stand behind the guy trying to stop. You know, like that's not gonna happen.
He's already making almost double what Randle's making.
Yeah, Randle is not going to command the same amount of money as Cat, bro. Cut it out. Cat is going to be making $60 million at the end of his contract.
61.
I'd be surprised. 61. I'd be surprised if Julius tops 40.
Right, and if I'm not mistaken, that contract just started. So you at the beginning.
28.
Yeah, you at the beginning stages of the contract.
This dude's already
crazy, bro. The only thing really, the only thing really he does better than Randle is shoot the three, because they're almost the same kind of player, except like you said, Randle's a little tougher. You know,
a lot tougher.
A lot tougher, right? A lot. Tougher. My bad.
And again, I'm not trying to say that Cat is an untalented basketball player, right? I'm not trying to say Cat is an untalented player. I hate the fact that he's almost 7
We're just gonna be honest. He don't fit our culture.
I don't think so. Man.
I hate that he's almost 7 feet tall and want to spend most of his time behind the 3-point line. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I've watched Cat have the mismatch and settle for jumpers way too many times over guys that he's clearly bigger and stronger than. And I watch him let them off the hook time and time again. I don't believe he's tough enough to handle the New York media. Again, if people could bully you into changing your voice when you do interviews, you ain't gonna make it here, homie. Because you got a high pitched voice, homie. You're 7 feet tall. Who's gonna beat you up, homie? Like, who's gonna fight you? But you got bullied into changing your voice. You think you're gonna survive the New York media when you playing bad? You think you're gonna survive the fan base when you playing bad? Like, listen, it took a lot for Julius Randle to bounce back, and that showed me all the resilience that I needed to see from him. Because that year that we didn't make the playoffs, that would have destroyed a lot of people. That would have made them ask for trades. That would have made them ask to leave. Like that would have, or they'd have continued the downward spiral in their playing. Look at Eddie Curry. He had promise when he came to New York. You know, personal issues being one of them, and then the media killing him for not playing good. He never recovered from that. You know what I mean? Like this is what this city could do to you. You feel me? Yeah.
To mention the kind of trade that it's gonna take to get Karl Anthony Towns, bro. Like you know,
type trade.
Right. It's not just gonna be Julius Randle, because I guarantee you it ain't gonna be a Julius Randle for Cat Anthony Towns trade straight up. contracts don't match. They're gonna want picks, and maybe Julius Randle, Mitch, something like that,
So,
and it's not
yeah.
even worth it, man.
So just Knicks. I forgot. They just I saw something recently that said,
What's up, Mike?
Julius Randle. Mike was good. Just Knicks. I saw a post about how much Julius Randle could make if he signs his extension at the end of this year versus if he wait for the following year, right? And it's like another
4 years,
close to
181.
It's like close to 4 year 181.
4 years, 181. Yep.
If he signs at the end of this season, right?
In August, it's a extension in August coming up.
Oh, this August coming up.
Right.
I think he takes that.
Right.
I think he takes that. And I think he gets another. Like if he waits to after the season, he gets like 2 and some change or some wild shit like that, right? I think he takes the 181.
I think he takes
that. I think he takes that.
I agree.
Because again, and the reason why I say this is not just off of blind Knicks hope, is just listen to the man talk about what he wants out of this situation. He wants to win here. He says this all the time. I want to win here because I think him and Jalen Brunson understand the fact that, if we win a championship in New York, we're going to be immortalized in sports history. It's been 50-something years since one of the biggest markets in NBA has won a championship. And if you're a pivotal cog and their jersey's going in the rafters easily. It's not even going to be a question. If those guys win a championship here, their jersey's going in the rafters. They're going to talk about when the Knicks won the championship for years to come. Yeah. And I think they understand that. So that's why I think where this sacrifice is coming from. And not to mention, Julius Randle already left money on the table so we can be able to get a Jalen Brunson.
That's that's something that a lot of people don't never mention.
I think they all just follow suit because, like you said, he did it first, which a lot of people don't talk about. Jalen has done it now. Even OG with his big contract, he left money on the table still.
What is like $20 million or something like that, right?
Because he could have left for another team and gotten paid way more. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I go and look at endorsements, and they're starting to pile up for Julius, which tells me he's gonna get paid elsewhere, right? So as of right now, he got endorsements with Mountain Dew, Levi's, JBL Audio, Celsius, Whistle Sports, NYC Healthy, JD Sports Global, and Vroom.
Who's that?
List wasn't that big last season.
Who was that? OG?
No, Julius.
Oh yeah. And don't forget Skechers.
And Skechers.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. They're definitely getting their coin off the court. But Melo said something that was dope on that. Not dope, but he shed some light. He was like, "Yo, you don't make up 113 million off the court like that." Like I understand he got these endorsements. They might, kind of ease the blow pause of, not making that kind of money.
But if you look, when you listen to people that broke down the contract, because me and Kev, we watched some podcasts or people breaking down on YouTube, he didn't really leave that much money on the table. So that amount, that 130, 113 included that whole season that he just, so remember it was 4 years for the amount that he took or 5 years for the higher amount. So they're counting that 5th year, but he didn't sign for that 5th year. So it's not that he left that on the table. It gave him a lesser contract for lesser years, but by the time his next contract comes up, that new CBA will be in play.
$500 million.
Right. And so he'll be able to get all that money back. Plus, you know what I mean? Billion. So the endorsements are holding him all over until that. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like what they said on that podcast. Let's be real. Jalen Brunson and Randall probably ain't paying for many food outings in New York. They're going to restaurants. They're getting all kind of shit for free. So all that, you got to take all that into account. And that shit that we as fans don't see. You know what I mean? I'm sure many restaurant owners want them in their restaurant. It's a good look. They can take a picture. It's a media thing. You know what I mean?
We're winning.
Like,
and we're winning.
And we winning. Everybody loves them. Everybody loves these guys on the team. And they're all friendly. They're all marketable players. Like none of them have like anything bad on their, background where it's like, okay, I don't want him to be the face of, or I don't want him to be seen with my product. Like it's things that we as fans don't take into consideration or don't know about, and we just talk. Trust me, if he felt like his family wasn't going to eat, he wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, like, and you also said like he comes from a different like circumstance. You feel me? Like he comes from a different circumstance, and then most of the people, most of the players is like, I can't leave that money on the table. It's a different circumstances. His mindset may be different. Yeah, I mean, but to answer your question. With this squad, is there a world where we win multiple championships? Absolutely possible. Most of these guys are. Julius Randle is the elder statement of the core guys. He just turned 30. No, is he 30 yet, or is he 29 still? Well, regardless of the fact, 29, 30, right?
He's 29.
So boom, you still got a good 3 to 4 years. Well, I'll say 4 to 5 years of Julius Randle having prime basketball to play, right? So then you got Jalen Brunson, who's 27 or 26, 27, I believe. Like these guys are in their late 20s, right? And they're on, most of them are on contract for the next 3 years, right? Most of them on contract for the next 3 years. So yeah, the way this roster is constructed, when it's built off of camaraderie and chemistry, and defense is the foundation, and you saw what we did understaffed, it's definitely possible because we have the core that's going to stay together for like the next 3 to 4 years, right? So if we get one, you definitely can believe that we could get another one. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to say multiple because that's only reserved for like very few organizations or teams with like one of those guys, generational talents. You feel me? As much as I love Jalen Brunson, I am not ready to put him in the same breath as a Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Bill Russell. Like, I'm not ready to put him in that. Like, he's not in that breath yet. And that's what that is reserved for. When you talk about multiple dynasty, when you talk about multiple, you talk about 3 or better, and that's a dynasty. Do we have a dynasty? I don't think so. But do I think we could get 2 in the time frame that we got these guys? Is it possible for us to get 2? I'm not saying they're going to be consecutive, but is it possible to get 2? Yes, very much so. But I don't know if we at dynasty level. Jay Bree got a lot more work to do before he may have me out here saying that we can get 3. He got a lot more work to do before I can say we a dynasty. Yeah, Cavs back. It was dark. I can't see you.
I don't know.
All I see is your glasses.
My battery died.
I just see Tupac.
Yeah, facts. Your glasses, Tupac. That's it. Nah, but to land the plane on the question, yeah, like I think we could get 2, but 3 is dynasty stuff, right? You get 3 championships with the same core team. That's a dynasty, and I'm not willing to say that we're gonna be a dynasty. I can't rightfully say we dynasty, but can we get 2? I believe we can. We get 1, we definitely can get another.
I agree, and I think the way our team is built to compete with the best of them. Like I was talking to my peoples, and we were in a group chat and he said, Philly's picking up a whole lot of guards, but none of them can guard JB. Made me laugh. It's a fact, right?
Facts.
So when you look at our team, my response to him was the way our team is built, we're built to match up well with all those teams, including Boston. We match up well defensively with all of them, but all of them don't match up well defensively on us. And that's just what it is. And I think this season, where if we can remain healthy, we're gonna see how far we can go with these guys. I think it's gonna be a great season. It's gonna be fun to watch, and it's gonna show us. I don't think we maybe one little piece away.
You know, to piggyback off what you were saying about, you know, these other teams, if you look at a team like Philly, they're built for like how they built for a championship
this season or nothing.
Pretty much this season or nothing. You talk about 2 years into Paul George contract, this guy's gonna be like 36. It's gonna be 36 2 years into his contract. Everybody ain't LeBron. That's all I'm saying. That's all I got to say about that. Father Time is undefeated, and everybody ain't LeBron. You know, they got Tyrese Maxey. He's super young, super talented. But then you start looking at the rest of the supporting cast is all old guys. Eric Gordon is in his mid-30s. Reggie Jackson, who they just
that have been injured a lot.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson, somebody who they just signed to come off their bench, is 34. Like, there's a lot of old guys on that team. And then you go turn your sights to Boston. Boston's salary cap is going to cripple them in the next couple years. They got like 2 more years where they can function in the way that they are right now before everybody's gone. It's going to be Jason Tatum and Brown. And everybody else gots to go. You feel me? Because they can't afford to keep nobody else. And they're going to be in the second apron. If they're not already, I believe they are already in the second apron. So not only is that going to like hamper what they could do in the immediate future, it's going to hurt them for the long run. They're going to be giving up draft picks. They're going to like all these things is going to happen, right? So again, but then you pivot back to the Knicks and you look at our contract situation. You look at the age. It's right in that middle spot where you want to be. You're old enough to compete and have experience, but young enough that you can have longevity with your core. You know what I mean? It's a perfect spot to be in. It's a perfect spot to be in. We just gotta, you know, Chip's gotta just like winning the championship is a lot about talent, but it's also a little bit luck involved. There's also a little bit of luck involved. You need the injury guards to be on your side. And the chips got to fall in the right places. And I think we have the formula. We built the right team to compete and be a championship contending team. We have the chemistry. We have the coach. We have the identity. Yeah, I mean, to carry us into deep into the playoffs. And the reason why I'm so confident is because I just know that this team, the mindset that this team has, there's no excuses. None. Zero. We're taking zero excuses. We go out there and we play as hard as we can, and we make no excuses. Yeah. There's no moral victories. You know what I mean? Like, JB would not take a moral victory. I don't want it. I don't want it. Don't care. Don't care. Did we win a championship? No. You feel me? Like, and that reverberates throughout the whole team. That's definitely sound like some, Coach Tommy T shit. Coach Tommy T ain't a moral victory guy. He said that on many occasions, like throughout his tenure here as a Knick. Like, I don't do moral victories. I don't like them. You feel me? If you lose, you lose. That's just what it is. Like, you know what I mean? And the coach is fire. We in a great spot. Knick fans, be happy. Don't don't let these other content creators and the mainstream media try to rain on your parade. You have cause to have it be joyous and enjoy where you are as a team, as a fan. You got to enjoy this time, man. It was dark times.
Facts. And just to go back
Don't
to
let nobody
Boston,
take these moments away from y'all.
facts.
Yeah, my fault.
Just to go back to Boston, you have to think we built the team differently than them, right? They built their team through the draft. We didn't build our team through the draft. And so because they built their team through the draft, they have a little more leeway with bird rights and all that to sign their guys to these big contracts. But even when you look at their cap, they're already capped at they're $7 million over the second apron. So they're stuck. We still have wiggle room. We still $2 million under the first apron with everything we've done. And we're 13 mil under the second apron with everything we've done. So it's two different situations. Like you said, the only reason they've been able to re-sign their guys like Tatum and so on for Derek White, whoever else they signed this year, was because of the bird rights. But again, their team was built differently. These guys were drafted to them. They're able to offer them those max contracts. It's different than us. We didn't build that way. And so we have those caps that we unfortunately lost iHeart to because we just don't have that momentum. That space to that money to offer to them. But we're in a much better space when you look at the long run. When you say they're going to lose draft picks, their draft picks are going to start going to the back because they're in the second apron. They're not going to be able to really re-sign anybody else to big contracts.
So they like what? White signed a 4-year deal, right?
Right.
Yep.
So for this year, they're $7.6 million over the second apron cap.
Yeah, they can't make no move.
They can't make no move.
So White, if I'm not mistaken, White signed a 3-year joint, a 4-year. I'm not sure, but anyway, in the next 2 years, I think Porzingis comes off the books.
But he's a
Al
huge
Horford.
part of their team, right? Like
Al Horford.
Is crazy.
They might. Peyton Pritchard just signed the contract too, so he's there for a little minute.
Yeah, I think 3-4 years. I think.
Yeah, but other than that, like when it comes time for like a pivotal piece of their team to go, like how much of because the luxury tax hits are crazy in this new contract. Like the amount of extra money that they're going to be having to give up to be over the luxury tax in the second apron becomes absolutely ridiculous. And I think this is part of the reason why I think the Celtics owner got up out of there. I got the ring. Now it was fun, guys. But I'm not dealing with this contract mess and start bleeding money. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm out. I'm taking my cash and run. You feel me?
So I just Googled Celtics luxury tax, and this is the first thing that came up. By the 2025-2026 season rolls around, the Celtics payroll will be hovering around $230 million. Their luxury tax penalty is projected to be even higher, meaning the Celtics will be paying nearly $500 million for that season. So it more than doubles their salary they're paying out to players.
You mean, hold on.
The salary they're paying to players is $230 million, but with taxes they're paying close to $500 million.
Hold on, you mean it? There's no way that anybody could function paying $500 million. Yo, hold on real quick, y'all. I'll be right back. I got you, Pip Juice. My bad. Oh snap!
Yeah, you there? But yeah, so having
my bad. I'm here.
Okay, having those kind of luxury taxes are insane, and so it's really important for teams and for our team. I could only speak for our team. Important for our team to stay well below that type of
Yeah,
Penalties.
my fault.
Lux,
Yeah, my fault.
yes, yes.
There's gonna be
That
there's
kind
gonna
of
be
puts it. That
yeah, my fault,
but
Gab.
there's gonna be what? Nah,
Yeah,
that shout out to Leon Rose for keeping us, at under that first apron.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier. But I think what got them over the cap was giving Jason Tatum that big ass contract.
there will be trades.
Right.
They might but can
Yo,
they make trades while in the second apron though? Can they make
You can't
trades?
make trades.
That's what
You
I'm
can't
saying. You
trade
can't
like
make no
that.
moves. You can't make no moves.
yo, they better win. They better win a championship, more championships in that time frame. Because if not,
So
I
with
think
the
you can
second
make trades. I think
apron, with the
yeah,
second
guys.
apron, they can't use a mid-level exception. They can't trade multiple players in the same deal. So it got to be a one-to-one trade. They can't do a sign and trade of their own players to acquire anyone else, and they can't send out any cash in any trade.
And
So
any trade.
On
I
top
guarantee,
of what the first apron restricts.
I guarantee you, I'm saying this here. I hope I remember this when it happens, so I could go back and pull up this clip, right? I guarantee you, if the Celtics don't win another championship in the next 2 years, somebody's getting traded. And I'm not talking about one of the help guys. I'm talking about one of the main two.
Yeah.
One of those
Wow.
guys is going to get packed up. I guarantee it. I
Who
guarantee it
who
because
who you think it is? Who you think it is?
I don't even know. It's
Ah,
probably
I'm
the
gonna say
way
Tatum too.
the way Brown has been playing, he's outplaying Tatum. So they're going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
keep the best one.
In both
And
finals. In both finals.
yeah, so yeah, Tatum's probably gonna be out of here, but I get somebody's
Yeah, I
getting
think
traded.
so too.
If they don't win another championship
Oh,
in the
and
next
the
2
second
years,
with the second apron, the team's first round pick is moved to the end of the first round.
yeah.
Woo!
So look, check it, right?
But they were gonna get a late first round pick anyway for winning the championship. So
Yeah, you yeah. So you when you look at a team like the Warriors, who spent a large majority of the time in the luxury tax, and their luxury tax hits wasn't nearly this bad, but they spent a large amount of time in the luxury tax. It made sense because they was winning championships. You know what I mean? They got 4 in their dynasty time, and that's dope, right? And that's what
But their
you
team
going.
also was built the same way Boston
Yeah,
was through the
yeah,
draft.
but it just made sense because it just made sense because they were winning. And if Boston go the next 2 years without winning a championship, I don't care. Somebody said it in the comments. I don't know who said it, but they said it like, yo, the average owner still makes 700 million. They still 200 million in profit. There is no business owner in the world that is going to purposely lose $300 million. Nobody in the world.
Y'all complaining
Just for
about 113.
yeah, just for the fuck of it. Just yeah, we got one championship. So for the next 5 years, I'm going to lose 300 million a year. The next 5. No, nobody, homie, nobody, because it's not just 300 million a year. It is what 5. Was that 6? That's 12. That's a million. That's a billion. That's a billion point 1.5 billion in 5 years. If it stays the status quo, right? We're talking about 300 million a year in the next 5. That's 1.5 billion.
1.5 billion.
Who the fuck wants to lose 1.5 billion in 5 years? Nobody.
No.
For one championship, nobody. Somebody got to go. He said 2 billion in 10 years. This would have Somebody got to go. Somebody. You feel me? Like there's no business that's going to operate on that level. Even if you're still turning a $200 million profit, the way America works, nobody's going to do that in any industry. Like, nah, somebody got to go. Right?
And you still
Somebody got
paying
to go.
taxes on that $2 billion.
Facts.
So you're not really profiting $2 billion.
200 mil, yeah.
200 mil. You're not really profiting that because you got to pay taxes on it.
He said you losing if you profit. How do you lose? How you losing if you profit 200 mil? Because you could have in that 5 years, right? In that 5 years, right? Instead of you made 2, 4, 8, you made 10, you made $1 billion when you could have made 2.5. That's how you lost. That's how you lost. Yeah. That's how you lost. It could have been 2.5, but you only made 1. Like, that's how you lost. Nobody's gonna want to lose $1 billion in 5 years, dog. Nobody. I don't care how rich you are. Nobody. That's just common sense. You know what I mean? Nobody. But and especially when it's a thing, and that's the point that we're making. They have to win championships more than just the one to make it make sense, right?
Yeah. And
my point was, if they don't win a championship in the next 2 years, somebody's out of here, right? It's only a smart investment if it yields results. If it's not yielding the results, it's not a smart investment. You gave the guys the money after they won the championship, something you should have done, right? So it's not really an investment on you can't make an investment on the return you already got. That don't make sense, right? You already got the return. Then they gave everybody the money. So, yeah, if they don't win a championship in the next 2 years, somebody's out of there. Somebody's out of there. I guarantee it, bro. I guarantee it. I hope I remember this. I hope I remember this when it happens. When the bulletin comes, somebody just got traded. I hope I remember this so I could go back to this. So what I said if they gotta win another championship in the next 2 years. That's what I just said, right? Now you still on par on making it make sense, right? And then in the next 2 years, they need to win another one to make it still make sense.
That's not going to happen because I expect the Knicks one. I'm just saying.
No,
saying.
Absolutely. Sis, we here. But yeah, they're like, for it to make sense, they need to pay that much in the luxury tax. To continue to pay that much in the luxury tax, they need to win a championship every 2 years.
Facts.
And if it stops yielding results, somebody got to go. Yeah, and that's everything I got to say about that. Y'all know what time it is for me. Y'all already know. Did we cover everything? Let me just double check, make sure we cover everything before we out of here. Where's my topics? Come on. I lost the topics. But I think the only thing we covered backup center, all that shit. Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Melo podcast, Achiua resigning Summer League. Who's the backup center? Yeah, we covered it all.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man. Yeah, today was fun. 2 hours. We almost never do 2 hours. At least when I'm here.
Word.
I mean, at least when I'm here. At least when I'm here, it's never almost 2 hours. So yeah, today was fun. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And if you didn't get anything else from us today, you should just leave with this. Don't let these people try to rain on your parade, Knicks fans. You know what I mean? Media and Knicks content creators alike. You know what I mean? Don't let them rain on your parade. Enjoy this. Enjoy this. You know what I mean? It's been a long time since we've been good. You know what I mean? Yes, absolutely. Yes, you should. You know what I mean? As you should. You know what I mean? But yeah, don't let nobody rain on your parade.
Appreciate that.
Because I forgot who said it. They said LOL Knicks was a thing, and they're still trying to eat off of that same they're still trying to eat off that same like formula. LOL Knicks. LOL Knicks. And you can't LOL the Knicks no more. We're good. We're good at basketball. We're a good basketball team. You know what I mean? They're trying to pump up this Philly situation like it's something for us to really be scared of. Obviously, this cause for some concern is Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Paul George, he's nice. I'm not sold on him neither. You feel me? Like, he's nothing that I feel that I need to be terrified of. We got OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Why should I be scared? You feel me? Like, why should I be scared? But yeah, they're building these guys up. Oh, the Reggie Jackson signing, it was people losing their mind. Oh my God, man, who cares about Reggie Jackson? Who cares about Reggie? Why am I scared of Reggie Jackson?
They better yo, listen. Philly's better than us, bro. Philly's better than us.
Hey, I put Deuce McBride on Reggie Jackson.
I'm just saying they wasn't better than us, and we was a half team last year. I'm just
I mean, but their story is Joel Embiid was hurt. Our whole team was hurt, homie.
Our whole team was hurt.
And Joel Embiid took out Mitch.
Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I mean? I'm not sold on Milwaukee. I think Dame has lost a step. He's not the same guy anymore. You know what I mean? We're looking at a shadow of Dame.
I think Melo said it best. It's Boston and the Knicks. And then Philly.
Yeah. Giannis is.
And I think he only threw in Philly because he was on Paul George podcast, to be honest.
Word. And then you look at Giannis over the last 2 years, when we get late into the season, has broken down the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to wish no bad on the brother, because I like watching him play basketball. And when he's healthy in the playoffs are more exciting. Absolutely. I mean, I want to see great basketball. But yeah, I'm not worried about Milwaukee. I mean, I'm not worried about nobody in the East. The only team I'm looking at is Boston, and I'm looking at them like y'all fool for real. You know what I mean? Y'all fool for real. Like what you said, just Knicks wing stop. We got OG and Mikal. We got OG and Mikal, Jason Tatum and Brown locked up in jailhouse.
Mm-hmm.
In the jailhouse, we going. Derek White is going to have to score 30 in every game for them to beat us. What are you talking about? Who's going to guard Julius Randle? Who? That's all I got. Who's going to guard Julius Randle? Who's going? I mean, they can say that Drew Holiday is going to guard Brunson, but why did Brunson give Drew Holiday 30? What we talking about, bro? I watch him give him 30. I'm not scared of Drew Holiday. And y'all shouldn't be neither. 60-win season loading, wacko. 60-win season loading. Trust in T-Tom. I'm not going to steer you wrong, homie. Knicks ish called the 50-win season. We called that here.
Yeah.
Last season, we called the 50-win season. Shout out to my guy Fraz and Kev. They was here. I was more like on a 48 teetering. I wasn't too sure, but I wasn't mad at the 50. I was on their side, but like I'm not all the way there, but I'm there. But Kev and Fraz was like, nah, T-Tom, 50 wins.
They sure did.
And I'm here to tell you with the utmost confidence, 60-win season loading.
And that's crazy because I don't know if it was last show or the show before that. I said 60 as well.
This is what I'm talking about. Knicks fans, enjoy. It's going to be beautiful. The league is going to be terrorized by our wings. The defense is going to be played is going to be on another world. This is going to be all world, the defense. Like, we're going to be the number one defensive team in the NBA. I'm telling you this now. It's not even going to be close. We're going to smoke people.
You're gonna get terrorized. You're gonna get terrorized by the players, and you're gonna get terrorized by the fans because we like to run. We like to pull up and run people's arenas.
Oh, and next
Shout
year,
out to the 76ers.
This is how confident I don't just be talking. I put money where my mouth is. Pause. I got bets going already. I got money on the Knicks going to the finals next year. Absolutely.
Ooh.
Already got somebody at my job. I got money on that. They says no way the Knicks going to the finals. I said absolutely. And then we was having another conversation, and he said, oh, there's no way y'all gonna beat the 76ers. I said, yo, if we play the 76ers, let's put that bet in stone now. If we play the 76ers in the playoffs, let's make sure we make that bet now, because I don't want you to back out when the season starts and you see us cooking people. He said, bet. I said, oh, I'm about to take all your money. Then I said, oh, we're gonna beat Boston too. He said, oh, there's no way y'all beating Boston. I said, oh, let's do the same thing we just did for Philly, for Boston. He said, all right, bet. So I stand to make a cool $150 off of one person. This is what my confidence is. You know what I mean? I'm not telling everybody to be as confident as me, but I'm telling you, we going to the finals next year, y'all.
We said it here first on Knicks and
Facts. Yeah, yo. Appreciate everybody that y'all got anything else before I close out? I'm sorry.
No.
Nah, man, let's go Knicks.
Absolutely. Appreciate everybody who pulled up tonight. You know the motto, sharing is caring.
Tell a friend to
absolutely.
Check us out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Wacko. Yeah, I'm. You know, I can't all the way argue with that, right? But the Knicks is going to be very close if they're number 2. It's not going to be like the Celtics did this year where they ran away with the first place. You know what I mean? If it's going to be very close, and I still got the Knicks edging out at 1. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, you know the motto, sharing is caring. If you didn't already, make sure you press that like button. You know what I mean? And you know, God willing, we see you Monday. Peace.